Welcome back. Now, pageantry is evolving and Namibia is making waves on the global stage thanks to individuals like Bobby Kaanjosa, now recognized internationally for his expertise in talent management, grooming choreography, and creative direction. Bobby is the force behind The Walk by Bobby Kaanjosa Institute. He's here with us today to talk about the growing world of pageantry. Bobby, good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Nina. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What's
I
your
love that we're
intro? And actually,
matching.
like I told you earlier, did not plan this. I was like, I just had a feeling you're going to wear orange. And I said, I'm going to wear my
Fantastic.
best orange
I love
tonight.
it. You're a spiritual being if you pick that up. Congratulations on such a successful 2024.
Thank you so
From Miss
much.
Charm Namibia placing in the top 10, Miss Namibia Tourism African winner. Talk to us about this and how it feels to see your hard work pay off on a global scale.
It's actually good that you say that because for me, it took me 10 years to get here. And for anybody who would know me, I stepped into the entertainment and beauty industry in 2014. So 2024 basically marked 10 years since I began in the industry.
Right.
So being able to have so much achievement within the industry that I'm passionate about, in the industry I've pushed for, it was really an amazing year. And I could just be thankful because I got so many things that I wanted. Everything I ticked last year of my bucket list, I was like, oh, Mr. Namibia, tick.
I love
All
it.
this amazing. And I won so many times, so many awards last year with the girls I was able to put out in the industry and internationally. It was quite amazing.
Well done to you, man. Good
Thank you
job.
so much.
Pageantry, of course, is evolving in
Yes.
Namibia. How have you seen it change over the years? What excites you the most about, pageantry's future?
I mean, when we were growing up, pageantry was just about women's beauty. Just girls parading around a stage and one gets to win and that's about it.
Yes.
But now it has become a platform or rather an institution that gives women a platform to really voice out things that they are passionate about, like
Right.
courses and stuff like that, charity work. And I think even when you look at the pageantry industry now, women who compete in these spaces are like doctors and people who are educated and stuff. Just to
Yes.
allow them or to extend their arm into really giving back to communities and stuff. And although it creates a great platform for women to really be a breakout in the entertainment industry if they ever wish to work in that industry and stuff. So it has really evolved. It gives opportunity. It's now exciting. It creates an element where it's fun and no longer just about beauty, but also being able to, push an agenda like body
Yes.
positivity, things like differently able people being able to be in spaces like this and stuff. So it has really changed and evolved so much. It also gives us people who work behind the scene an opportunity to really make a difference
Yeah.
with these young women around the world.
Grooming and talent management is very critical in pageantry. And it's a side, of course, like you said, behind the scenes. People don't see
No.
that aspect. What are some of the key, skills or traits that you focus on when you are developing your contestants?
I think I always say that, I cannot teach you how to look that way.
Yeah.
That's God's job. But my job is to make sure that you elevate what you already have. Those are things like building your self-esteem, being able to see yourself, look at yourself and know that you are the most beautiful thing in the world. And also being able to understand that as much as you are in a competition, you stand out, you are different, you bring something to the table. And also the other thing is obviously being able to teach the girls elements where they can be healthy, look after their bodies, which also just as they contribute to the aspect of the physical appearance, but also contribute a lot to like your improving your health and stuff like that. But also most importantly, being able to teach things like how to walk on stage, how to perform. Because when it comes to pageantry, really working on a stage is one of the most important elements.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
contributes heavily and also like again, it draws back to confidence building and making these women feel powerful and all these sort of elements and stuff. But also public speaking.
Yeah.
Because also you don't just use that space of public speaking in a sense of beauty pageants because you can take these traits into your professional career, professional space, whether you're doing interviews or whether if you work in a space where you speak with people, those are also some of the traits you carry over to this kind of stuff. So it doesn't just empower you in that space. Even when you do one day step out of the beauty industry, you're still able to use them and become a CEO of somewhere because now you know how to speak in front of
Yes,
people and
yes.
all these sort of elements.
As I mentioned, you worked on really high-profile projects last year, Miss Namibia, Miss T Namibia, global projects as well. So how do you tailor your training for these different competitions?
I think it's basically just understanding what the brand is about, understanding what the organizers are trying to achieve, and just being able to bring my own flair to it, being able to make sure that when people watch that show, they see an element of myself in it. Because when it comes to my choreography, I prefer a lot of more group effort. I prefer more entertainment aspects and stuff rather than just having one girl walk on stage. So that's like kind of like the things I focus on, but also being able to bring a different, like if you watch Miss Namibia from the other year compared to now, you would say there's a difference because there's a difference in choreography, the people behind the theme, and all this sort of thing. So those are little elements that I look at, and also trying to make sure that they get to call me back. So I need to put in the work so I get the gig the following year.
Speaking of being called back, you're already booked and busy for 2025.
Yeah.
You know, you hit the ground running.
Yes.
What are you currently busy with?
I'm currently busy. Right now, I'm currently, because I was able to, like, as you mentioned earlier, I worked with the Miss Cham pageant last year, December, which was actually my closing pageant for the year. And I worked with the amazing Georgia Carices, who did an amazing job in Vietnam. So I also have that franchise again for this year. Now I have the daunting, what do you call it? Responsibility, yes, of really finding the next woman to elevate that brand. But I'm currently hosting the Miss Petite Global Namibia pageant happening on the 1st of February. So that's also now a platform I have to choose yet another woman to compete internationally in May in Malaysia for the Miss Petite Global Petite Global, sorry, because last year I was able to send Esperanza Martins, who also did amazing by winning the African Continental title. She's currently the Miss Petite Global Africa winner for last year. So it's just to elevate that space, and also basically trying to go back into training, grooming, and stuff like that. I'm also busy now trying to launch my this year's Miss Namibia, Miss Teen Namibia workshop that I did last year. Last year I was able to collaborate with Chelsea Shikongo, but this year I'm looking for. I'm planning on who I can work with, just to also mentor. Basically, I use this platform to help girls enter the Miss Namibia pageant correctly.
That's awesome. You mentioned, of course, you had a list of things that you ticked off last year, and you achieved all of them. So what are some of the things that are on your list for 2025? Personal goals, milestones, anything that you're aiming for in terms of director, etc. What are your goals for this year, if you don't mind sharing?
No, I do not. I think firstly, because now I have my institute, I like to call it the Work by Bobby Kaanjosa Institute, because I want to use it as the platform to really groom more models, groom more Namibian young people, because after last year, I've really received a lot of attention from young women, especially in rural areas. So I really also want to see if I can reach out to these spaces, even if I can host like a few classes, just to kind of build that self-esteem and just to show them that they are equal, they can also achieve whatever.
Make them feel seen.
Yes. So that's also what I have in part of my pipeline. And also, obviously, I am trying to see if I can host like more pageants. But most importantly, I'm praying that I get the Mr. Namibia gig again this year.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed,
Auntie Umi, if you're watching,
Yeah, so those are like a few things. And also just doing more international, because last year also I was able to choreograph 2 international pageants. So I'm also hoping at least I get more major pageants. At least last year I had 2. This year I'm at least aiming for 5.
Yeah.
So I need to get the bag,
Well, you're definitely doing a great job, because I think I can spot a Bobby Kaanjosa walk on a lady. So it's very different from others.
Yes, no, definitely. Because I feel like I had to create a brand that just creates that people know. Because I feel like the industry is always growing, and all the time we have people coming into the industry, and I always wanted to set myself apart. Because like I said, I've been doing this for a very long time. So at some point I need to have like a mark. That whenever I work with someone, this is it. And even it helps me also push, so that when I work with a girl, I know that I need to literally do this. Especially like with the Georgia experience. For me, it was literally an elevation in my career, because Georgia did amazing. We had like 3 weeks of preparations for that pageant, and I needed to make sure that if she goes to Vietnam, she needs to make something that it just doesn't elevate her, but also elevates me.
Yes. You're doing amazing, sweetie, in the words of Chris Jenner.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here. I wish you all the best for 2025. And don't be a stranger. Call us.
I will. I will call you guys. You guys must come through with me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, that was Bobby Kaanjosa speaking to us there. That also wraps up today's edition of the Daily Roundup with Nina. We're back, of course, next week, Monday, 6 p.m. sharp on NBC One. Join us then. Good night.